Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. We're back here with another Whiskey Short, and as always, I'm with Scott.
Hey everybody.
We're also being joined by our favorite regulars, Siobhan.
Hello.
And our most favorite minion in Bedford, Gabe.
Hello, me. It's me again.
Hello, me. It's me again.
I just want to thank you guys for keeping my podcast alive.
Oh, you're welcome.
When I can't be here every week,
Right.
I understand
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And I know your ratings are sapping right now, and I just I'm glad I could be here to raise them up.
Well, why we're having you back. Yes.
Gabe's contract, we have to mention him 3 times in episodes he's not on, or we have to pay him twice as much as we paid him for the last episode, which of course is 0. So
complicated.
2 times 0 is double 0.
It's 0. It's always 0. Sorry, Gabe.
Pay him in Rogaine.
Oh, damn.
Obviously not enough. Have you seen me?
He's sporting the Scott look. So what we're all here to
Yeah.
do.
Oh, yeah. So what happened was we got another whiskey sample given to us.
Yeah.
And Scott's going to tell you all about them.
That's right. So Nicole from the Magrino Marketing Company in New York City, the same people who sent us the Fistful of Bourbon last summer, reached out again to ask us if we'd be interested in trying a new whiskey. And because who says no to free whiskey, we immediately said yes. So this is the Grayson Texas Blended Bourbon QuickTaste.
Whiskey Short.
Quick description from their website. From the beginning, the goal of author and mixologist Nico Martini, former Major League Baseball player Vernon Wells, and private equity investor Brandon Davis was to highlight the work of some of the best distillers in Texas. Blended from 100% straight whiskeys that are 100% Texan, Grayson, we're going to hear a lot of Texas right now. Grayson Blended Small Batch Texas Bourbon is the first Texas-only blended whiskey, the first black-owned Texas whiskey brand, and is quite literally Texas in a bottle. The founding trio's first step was to reach out to Robert and Jonathan Licorice at Iron Root Republic Distilling, and after long discussions about which flavor profiles they were most interested in and the myriad ways to achieve those profiles, Jonathan took their ideas and started developing a series of sample blends and carefully selected single barrels that accentuated specific flavors from their favorite Texas distilleries to integrate and balance the overall blend while also maintaining the flavors that they initially curated. They and their distillery partners began hand-selecting each barrel, vatting them together, and allowing them to marry for a few months prior to bottling. And just this past March, with the help of some incredible friends, they hand-labeled and bottled the first batch of Grayson Texas Bourbon. It's been a labor of love for sure, they say, but also worth every effort.
The bottle says small batch, barrel aged, Texas blended bourbon whiskey.
Yeah.
The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the
The heart of Texas.
Wow. Ed, read the proof on the bottle.
Yeah. The proof is 119.4.
Damn.
The mash bill is undisclosed, but the label calls it a bourbon, and it has a high amount of 100% wheat whiskey from one of the distillers, and those distillers are Iron Root from Denison, Texas, Balcones from Waco, Texas, and 5 Points from Forney, Texas. It's aged 3 to 7 years. Those are the ages of the whiskeys that are in it, and the price, MSRP, that they're selling it at is $55.
Well, I've told you, like I said, it is one of the deepest, darkest colored whiskeys that I've ever seen.
It's a gorgeous color. It looks like a Manhattan.
Like cherry juices in it. It's really spectacular.
Yeah, I've had a version of the Balcones from Texas a while back, and I was thoroughly impressed. I believe it was one of the top 20 rated whiskeys from Whiskey Advocate.
Oh.
And it was very good. So a good lineage going on here.
Texas is exploding, the whiskey scene down there.
And right, Garrison Brothers.
Garrison Brothers, another one, which says I'm surprised that Garrison Brothers isn't actually in this.
Well, I mean, Garrison Brothers is pricey, so that would probably inflate their price.
Yeah, maybe.
Historically, we like blends. We like blends with scotch. We like infinity bottles. We like when we pour whiskeys together and make our own 2 whiskey blends for some reason.
We like whiskey.
And sometimes. And we liked Lost Lantern when we were doing our sourcing whiskymentary. We encountered them. They have such a really good open approach to it. And I really feel very similar approach by Grayson.
Yeah, so the Lost Lantern people went around the whole country and highlighted small distillers, and they're just doing small distillers in Texas. So it's a Texas Infinity bottle almost.
Right, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So let's give a nose on it.
Yeah.
Nice, sweet, slightly alcohol forward. Mm-hmm. A lot of corn. No surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is big.
It's-
like Texas.
Yeah, big
That
like
smell.
Texas. That's
Big smell. I agree. So yeah, it's really good. It's
It's got some candy
sweet
corn.
fruits. Yeah, like
Bit of leather there.
Like a little.
Oh, okay.
All right. Like, so there is like an herbaceous quality at the end of the nose.
Yeah,
take a
I'm
taste.
getting that too.
I'm ready to
Yes.
taste it.
Yeah, okay, take a taste. Oh, wow.
It's a
Woo.
lot there for
Woo!
119. But
Holy
still,
damn.
relatively smooth for 120. I got to tell you. I mean,
I think I just went blind in an eye.
How many flavors is that?
yeah, there's definitely an explosion of flavor. You're not,
yeah.
you're not going to be bored.
The thing I get on it neat, and this is maybe sounds like a criticism, but it's actually not because I really like it, is what Gabe smelled, leather.
Yeah, I taste it a lot more than
Yeah.
I smelled it, and it's not bad.
And then it covers your mouth
Yeah.
with lace.
Yeah.
With that leather.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's like Stevie Nicks is dancing in
Right.
your mouth.
It like turned my tongue into the gimp and threw it in a box.
Are we square? Yeah, we square.
Oh, that what about now?
Wow.
It comes off initially very hot, goes right to your senses, your
Right in the cockles.
Yeah, very herbaceous and
Yeah.
and floral, and yet it has all those sweet notes with the leather tones, but like a sweet leather. I can't even like describe it.
The Leather Tones sounds like your backup
Like a-
group, Scott and the Leather Tones, this Friday.
Scott
That
and
is
the
why.
Leather Tones.
That is why you are my shooby doo. Yeah.
I get it like a sweet tea. I don't know
Okay,
why.
all right.
I'm getting that too, yeah. Like a dark tea that's been like sunned out on the porch a little too long.
Yeah, it's very tannic, like a
But not
deeply
bad,
brewed.
not bad, but just a
No,
very
no,
full.
not at all.
This is different than anything I've ever tasted.
Yeah, and that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Of course, boys from Texas. What do you expect?
That's right.
No.
All right, we have to stop. Just openly making fun of
I know.
Texas.
Oh, we're not. Oh,
We're not really.
No, we're not.
No,
No.
no.
No,
not
okay.
at all.
Yes.
Sounded like it. Just for the record, they would love to make fun of New Jersey if they could.
Well, everybody makes fun of New Jersey, so
Yeah,
I think we feel entitled.
But you know what? We got enough stones to say, try it.
Try it
Just
because we'll
try
just
it.
come back and make fun of you.
Because we're
Yeah,
we're
just 'cause
ready.
you have-
We're always.
we
You can
got
go
Frank
fuck
Sinatra, Danny
yourself.
DeVito.
We got
Hey,
Billy
what
Joel.
you gonna do? Tony Soprano.
Bon Jovi.
Forget
Okay.
about it.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
best pizza in the
I'll be
United
waiting
States.
all day.
Okay, so on the nose, we got raisins, barrel-aged maple syrup,
Oh, okay. Yes.
beignet flavored coffee grounds.
Well, that's specific, isn't it?
Interesting. Jalapeno jelly. Oh, here we go, Gabe. And a hint of the inside of new cowboy boots.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God, there it
Which
is.
is leather.
So
Not used cowboy boots.
on the palate, super sweet initially with syrupy waffle notes. I was totally going to say waffles. Moving into a spiced cider with allspice, clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, and brown butter. All those
Yeah.
Yeah.
baking spices.
Sorry, what is brown butter?
Brown butter, it's when you take butter and you
put it in a
cook
pan?
put it in the pan and let it brown.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It has a deep, rich, kind of like the Angel's Envy that we were sipping on earlier.
Like Ricardo Montalban's rich Corinthian leather
Rich.
from his Cordoba.
Corinthian leather.
Con!
Oh, God. Wow.
Well,
We are all over the place today.
on the finish, almost burnt pecans, sweet wheat, and fennel, which is like a little anise.
I don't know
Like
if
a
I get
s-
fennel, but
It's a little anise. I'm sorry.
oh my God.
A little anise, not a big anise.
So
Nobody's complaining.
No.
overall, it's a very unique and special whiskey.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, this is something that I definitely would add to my own personal library. It reminds me of myself. It's complicated, shocking, and dangerous all in one.
Wow.
And everyone's amazed by its color. You know,
They're not paying you enough.
Right.
Holy damn, that was
They're
amazing.
not paying you at all.
The whiskey and you both have amazing, rich color to them.
right?
Yes.
All right. Gabe, what do you think about this? Try to top that, Gabe.
I
Gabe's like, it's good. It make my throat hurt.
Mongo like. No, I just took a sip, a little more than I would normally take, pretty much neat, and
And normally Gabe can take a lot.
I just dropped a little bit of water in there, and it just kicked me of like a really nice deep maple syrup.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like
It's in the
but
notes.
in a good way. It was like, wow, this is really complex and rich,
Yeah.
and full, and it just sits on your tongue like
Like alcoholic waffles.
Yeah. And Scott, what do you got?
alcoholic waffles.
Sum it up, Scott. What
That's
do you feel
it.
about it?
Alcoholic waffles. And like I said before, I've never tasted anything like this.
No.
This is an
like it a lot.
extraordinary blend.
I like it a
On the level, I think, of maybe something that Barrel would put out.
Okay.
Because Barrel does all those crazy blends with all those
Right.
crazy finished barrels and different age statements. And
Well, we just we pre-gamed a little bit with some Angel's Envy rye, which is a lovely bottle
We did.
in and of itself, and it's highly comparable.
It is.
It's right up there with complexity and the dancing of the flavors.
It hits some of those notes. It's not as like sweet as the Angel's Envy
But
Rye
it's
is.
more complex, actually.
It's
because
very
it
complex.
has much more savory notes like the leather that we mentioned on it, which Angel's Envy doesn't have.
Right.
Jesus. Wow. All right. So here's something fun that I did because and
We
something
don't like fun.
No,
Oh,
no,
fun.
fun. Ew.
Fun.
I'm scared.
I was curious about the name Grayson.
Bye.
What?
What?
Oh, not by curious about the name Grayson.
Right.
I was curious about the name Grayson, and this is something we can ask Nico why he named it Grayson because I have no idea. But I decided to look up the name Grayson on Urban Dictionary.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Here we go.
How popular is it?
No, well, here's the most popular definition of Grayson.
Uh-oh.
All right. A Grayson is a rare boy with the ability to love with all his heart. He is sensitive and he will give everything he has to the one he loves. He is caring and in tune with how others are feeling. Graysons usually like to help others and would take a bullet for their friends and family, but sometimes give of themselves more than they should. They are usually good looking, very athletic, and citrus scented.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Mostly, Graysons are excellent people to have around as they are the perfect friend and their schlongs are lady killers.
Damn.
Now we're getting
Damn.
into the
I was waiting for the Texas part to get into this. Now we got it.
There we got it.
They're like, damn right.
A Grayson is genuine, loving, and rare. So if you find one, don't let them go.
Wow. I got to tell you, I was not ready for that full description.
Yeah. Let's take a break and set up our Zoom call and talk to Nico Martini, co-founder of Grayson's Texas Bourbon.
Well, all right.
Be right back.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, Nico.
How's it going?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I'm Ed. This is Scott.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sorry about the time zone thing. I meant to email you previously, and then I just thought of it again. I was like, oh, no, maybe it's an hour from now. But
I didn't even think about it, honestly.
We had a lot of work to do anyway, so it actually happens all the time with us. It's like you think we'd get ahead of it by now, but we never do.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
We're East Coast elitists, so we think everyone's on our time zone.
Right.
I was telling Scott, I said, Nico Martini, you sound like you should be more living with us in Jersey or Brooklyn than born and raised in Texas. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, this is where I'm from, born and raised, very much so.
well, I feel like you'd fit in fine with us. So first of all, I just want to say our impression of the whiskey is absolutely delicious. And
Thank you.
And I feel like this is a type of whiskey that's not aimed at entry-level drinkers. It's going to be aimed at people like Scott and I who want something different, a little more complex. And people like us know that things are sourced. Mm-hmm. We understand the sourcing concept because it's widespread. And so I think that the option that people have is to act like they didn't source their work, you know?
Right.
You chose the transparency of demonstrating the quality of your source product. And I think that's a much better way to go, because if you like any of the products that you see, it makes you want to try the little mini Texas Infinity bottle that you created. Yeah. And I have to tell you, the flavor just keeps going with this. Honestly, delicious whiskey.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. My partners approached me a couple of years ago, and basically they were like, we want to make a Texas whiskey. And I said, cool, where's your distillery? And they were like, oh, well, there's this place in Indiana. I'm like, okay. That's fine. That's a way to do it. You're not making a Texas whiskey, so get that out of your mind. You can make a whiskey, but please, for the love of God, don't put a spur on the label and call it Alamo whiskey or whatever. And, lean into that whole thing when you're not doing that. And I just kept having this feeling that I just wanted to work with as many distilleries as possible and not just one. And so the idea was, what if it was a blend? There wasn't a Texas bourbon blend at the time. And they're like, yeah, cool. Love it. Sounds great. How do we do that? I'm like, well, let me start making some phone calls. And so I called the Licorices up at Iron Root because I think they're the best blenders in the state, pretty much hands down. And so I pitched them on the idea and they're like, yeah, that sounds great. Okay, well, who do you want to work with? And the first people that came to mind was Balcones.
Right.
And then let's find somebody else to work it in. We wound up working with Lone Elm, which is a wheat whiskey. And we wound up calling the thing Grayson. It means son of the gray one, which is basically our sort of way to say we would not be here without all of the work that all of these 3 distilleries did. All we did was put them together. What we're trying to be is kind of an homage to Texas whiskey. And each one of the batches is going to end up being different. Every year from now on, we will do a batch release on March 2nd, which is Texas Independence Day. You know, we're kind of leaning into the Texas
Of course
thing.
it is.
Sure.
So Texas Independence Day, we're going to be doing our batch releases. I believe we're going to end up partnering with Total Wine. And so,
Oh, wait.
so yeah.
That would be great. We have many Total Wines around us. We
Right.
love that. That would make our life so easy.
We're not really sure what direction we're going with batch 2 quite yet, but we're kind of in the midst of kind of figuring all of that out right now. It's always going to kind of be this rolling tribute to what's happening in Texas.
Right. So like a one-off of each time. You're not aiming for a particular flavor.
Not necessarily right now. If we could get the right supplier agreements in and they're willing to do it, that's a really, really good one. And maybe we can, all right, cool. But Lone Elm only has so much 7-year-old wheat. And so there's, okay, well, maybe it's not the first one, but maybe it's the second one. Who knows?
Yeah, we did an affinity bottle the first time that we did one, and we loved it. It came out amazing. And I think there were 12 or 13 whiskeys in it. And we were like, we can make 13 bottles of this if we can get each of those bottles again and mix them together.
Our goal is to do that, is to go out and make, one day we're going to give it to our friends for Christmas. Like, they all loved it.
That's awesome.
So what do you normally charge for a $7.50 of your batch?
The MSRP is $55. By the end of it, I feel like the last bottles that were available at retail, they were going for about $90. We really wanted it under $60, if at all possible.
Well, I have to tell you, Barrel Spirits, Barrel would tell you you're wrong. If I could get this for $55 in New Jersey, we would have a party every Friday night when we get this bottle. So I wouldn't blink at this at 80. I'll be honest with you, the quality that it is. And I mean that honestly.
Yeah.
So Grayson's a brand. What is the company name?
I mean, our
it.
LLC is called Brazen Spirits, but I mean, Grayson's the only thing that we're doing right now. Grayson's the only real
That's
name.
your name then. All right. I thought maybe I missed the other name. Okay, great.
Yeah, so how did you hook up with Vernon Wells, the former Major League Baseball player?
Yeah, basically Vernon and his business partner, Brandon, they have a couple of wine projects. And at some point they wanted to make brandy. And then it turned into, brandy's way too expensive the way that we want to do it. What about whiskey? And Vernon's like, well, I'm from Texas. Let's see what we can do in Texas. And it turned into that.
He's a pretty good player. Played for a lot of teams. Like
teams. Former Yankee great.
Yeah, looked him up. 270 batting average.
Mm-hmm.
And 270 home runs. He's a player.
He's huge in Toronto.
Yes. You're right. He had huge years in Toronto. He absolutely did. Yes. Yeah, man. That's how we feel like when we're in Bedford, New Jersey. We're superstars down in Bedford. You should see us. But
that's funny.
Real quick, your background is just so eclectic. I mean, the Flying Karamazov brothers, aren't they jugglers? I've heard of them. They're jugglers.
Yeah, dude. They're these crazy hippie jugglers that when I moved up to New York, I was directing. I was doing all of my work in theater, and there was just kind of a slot in my schedule that was empty. And they were going out on tour and they needed a production manager. And I was like, all right, cool, let's go. And so it wound up being on tour with them maybe a total of 4 times. They were always like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks at a time. But like, yeah, these crazy hippie juggler dudes. And the thing that I realized, probably 2-3 years later, that didn't even dawn on me is I never got them to teach me to juggle.
Yeah, I mean,
like that
was my next question.
So disappointed in myself.
So, Scott, any other thoughts?
Yeah, so you have a book out about Texas whiskey, like a whole history of Texas whiskey. Do you start at like the beginning, or is it just like what's going on right now?
Yeah, man, I cover all 14 years because we've been making whiskey here for 14 years.
Is this a prohibition thing? Because trust me, we know all about how some states have.
Oh, dude, prohibition worked so well in the state of Texas. There are things that are still on the books. I am shocked that the biggest name in formerly craft spirits, Tito's, actually pulled his stuff off in Texas. Like he was literally helping legislators write the new laws to allow him to be able to distill in the state.
What a huge boost for the American spirit market to have a home vodka that was that popular.
Man, I drank more Tito's in New York when I lived there than I ever drank in Texas.
Listen, thanks so much for coming on. Listen, don't be a stranger to it. A lot of times we interview people and then they disappear. Like we feel used, like it's a one-night stand or something. Like like there's cab fare on the bureau. And we're like, hey, where'd you go? We were talking whiskey.
In the corner crying.
First of all, how can I buy Grayson? So if I want a batch 1 sold out completely, I can't get it again?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
So batch 2 March.
Yeah, we will have some sort of an e-commerce something that's happening, even if it's the type of situation where we are not, again, prohibition work. In Texas, we're not allowed to ship any whiskey to anybody, but who knows? Maybe you have friends in Texas that are making trips up there, or
Right.
that's all I'm going to say. So there's ways that you can, if you buy it online, I'm sure we'll find a way to get it to you.
Right.
Right.
But somehow Flavor finds a way to do that, and so does Drizzly. They don't care. You know?
Yeah. And we'll be in Total Wine, and you'll be able to get it there, and it'll just be nice.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
We are hanging on to one barrel. We've got one barrel of batch one. So we'll see what we do with that one. That'll be a super special release.
Something like a Friends podcast only one. I can see that.
Podcast. It's the podcast.
Jersey podcast only.
The Whiskey Tangent Grayson release.
Right.
Listen, you send me that barrel, we'll make so much money off that whiskey in this state. I tell you right now.
You're going to set the price at like $350.
No, I don't need to. I'm not like that. I'm saying people that would
$99.
seriously $99. But anyway, thanks so much for coming on, Nico. Keep us in the mix. We'll let people know when the second batch is coming out.
Absolutely. If nothing else, I can have the PR firm send you another bottle when the next batch comes out. So there you go.
Absolutely.
Definitely do that, because we'll get on there and taste it again.
Cool, guys. All right. Well, thank you very much. Take care.
Thanks, Nico.
Later, man.
Later.
Well, that was a fun interview. Final thoughts. I think this is a winner.
Yeah.
We have been really lucky about the stuff that people have sent us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm going to be dead honest, people. If we don't like something, we're going to tell you. This
are.
is really special.
That's why we have Siobhan and Gabe here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right.
To keep us honest.
Right. Because it's like, if we're just trying to like pad our stats and love everything, like people say we do, we love everything because we're very selective about what we drink on here.
If I didn't like it, someone would have a double right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Siobhan will literally just turn and dump it in my glass. She's done it many times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
If you guys don't know anything about Siobhan's going to tell you what she thinks.
You know.
No,
you know.
You guys have been very honest with your. It doesn't matter if it's gifted to you or if it's something you bought, and you're not holding back with your thoughts. And I think you're very honest. And if it's crap, it's crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put a little water on it. God,
it
it's
opens
quite
a
nice.
lot of flavor up now. I'm
so
on it
nice.
too.
Yeah. I'm going to pour over some ice too as we close out.
I definitely want to try it over some ice.
Yeah. I want to thank them for sending basically a half bottle.
Yeah.
They also sent us a really cool globe maker with their
really
logo.
nice, high quality.
Yeah, logo
Oh my
inside.
God, yes.
And a tasting glass.
Yeah.
We did an unboxing video.
This will be on YouTube.
It'll be on YouTube by the time this comes out. Thank you, Siobhan, in advance for editing that. Filming and editing that.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Ed, take us out.
Right. So if you are able to get a bottle of the Grayson, born and bred in Texas, blended bourbon whiskey, do it. It's one of a kind. It's special. It's complex. It's delicious. For the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
I'm Gabe.
And I'm Siobhan.
If you get a chance to drink the Grayson, it'll be a lucky day for you. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
Later.